Hello, everyone! Today, let's hook this Minion's ice cream cone together. You can think of it as a pendant. You can also think of it as a little doll. Okay, let's officially enter the video tutorial. So first, let's hook the cone. Run a loop around your finger. Pinch the intersection with your right hand and make the yarn. Change your left hand and pinch the intersection. And then we threaded a crochet through the loop. Wrap the yarn around and pull it over. And then what happens is you wrap it around again. Pull this little loop. This is a chain stitch. Next we need to be inside this ring. Hook for single crochets in the magic ring. Thread the crochet. Press the yarn with crochet and pull it over. There are 2 loops on this crochet. We're going to merge these 2 loops together. Then our first single crochet is hooked. It has a V-shaped crochet on it. Mark the first stitch. Keep hooking single crochets. Second single crochet. A total of 4 single crochets. Third single crochet. The 4th single crochet is ready. What about after hooking these 4 stitches? We also put a marker on the 4th crochet. Pull this little thread tail really tight. The first round is done. We use a spiral hook. So no end to end. Okay, well, we've done the first round. Now we're going to do the second round. 1 single crochet and 1 increase is a group. Repeat the hook twice. We start threading the crochet on the first stitch. Take the buckles off. Through the stitches. The end of the yarn is hooked on it. In the first single crochet, hook a single crochet. Mark it. Thread the crochet through the second stitch. Hook an increase. The increase is 2 single crochets in each stitch. Hook a single crochet first, and then you thread a crochet through the same stitches. Then hook a single crochet again. This is an increase. It's a combination. We're going to do it again. A separate single crochet is hooked in the 3rd stitch. An increase is hooked inside the 4th stitch. That is, hook 2 single crochets. And then mark the last stitch. What about after the second round? It will change from 4 stitches to 6 stitches. And we're going to do the 3rd round. 1 single crochet and 1 increase and 1 single crochet. Repeat 2 times. A separate single crochet is hooked inside the first stitch. Mark it well. An increase is hooked inside the second stitch. That is, hook 2 single crochets. Okay, then hook a single crochet inside the 3rd stitch. Okay, so that's a combination. Next we need to repeat. After the 3rd round is hooked, we're going to go from 6 in the 2nd round to 8. The last stitch is hooked on a single crochet. Okay, round 3 is complete. Mark the last stitch. Next, let's hook the 4th round. For the 4th round, 3 single crochets and 1 increase is a group. Repeat 2 times. Inside the first stitch, hook a separate single crochet. Mark it well. A single crochet is hooked inside the second stitch. Hook a single crochet inside the third stitch. Here we go. Hook an increase inside the fourth stitch. It's a combination. Next, repeat again, 3 single crochets and 1 increase. After the fourth round is hooked, it will change from 8 single crochets to 10 single crochets. The last crochet must be hooked with an increase. The last stitch is still marked. Then our fourth round is complete. Next, we hook again. It's the 5th round. For the 5th loop, 2 single crochets, 1 increase, 2 single crochets. Repeat 2 times. A single crochet is hooked inside the first stitch. A single crochet is hooked inside the second stitch. Then inside the third stitch. We hooked an increase. Then next, a single crochet is hooked inside the fourth stitch. A single crochet is hooked inside the 5th stitch. It's a combination. What's next? We're going to do it again. 2 single crochets, 1 increase, 2 single crochets. Okay, after the 5th round, everybody follows the diagram. Hook the remaining 6th to 11th rounds. Hook it all up. I put the diagram on the screen. Okay, we've been following this diagram. Hook to round 11. Then after hooking, lengthen the end of this yarn. Then cut it. We use this suture needle. Treat this end of the yarn. Let's take a look. This is the first single crochet that skipped over it. Go through it like this at a position like the second stitch. Then at the last single crochet like this. Pick its back loop. And the back loop of the first stitch goes through at the same time. Okay, so it's connected. Then put the extra yarn tail. You can hide it directly in this cone. Okay, our ice cream cone is done. So what's next? Let's take the ice cream ball part again. What about this part? It's very simple too. Let's take a look. The beginning also is magic ring. Pinch the intersection with your right hand. Put the yarn on the left hand. Change your left hand and pinch the intersection. Crochet in. Pull the yarn over. Pull again. Okay, so now we thread the crochet through the loop. Hook 6 single crochets. Mark the first single crochet. The first round is a total of 6 single crochets. Okay, also make a mark on the 6th single crochet. Pull this little thread tail really tight. First round completed. Next, we hook the second round. For the second loop, we are hooking 6 increases. It's the same as the cone part. What about increasing? It is 2 hooked to single crochets in each stitch. Let's hook. The first stitch is hooked and marked. 2 single crochets are hooked in the first stitch. Then next, in the second stitch, hook another increase. Okay, there is an increased hook inside the third stitch. According to this method, Hook the second round well. After the second round, it will change from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. The last crochet is also hooked with an increase. Okay, mark the last stitch. Second round completed. And we're going to do the third round. What about the third round? 1 single crochet and 1 increase is a group. Repeat the hook 6 times. A single crochet is hooked inside the first stitch. Mark it well. Then thread the crochet into the second stitch. Hook and increase. It's a combination. This round needs to be hooked a total of 6 times. We continue to hook. What about the ice cream ball part? Always repeat 6 times. What about the stitches used in it? It's basically the same thing. Okay, so after the third round, we're going to do the fourth round to the 12th. Hook them all up. And I'll put the diagram for rounds for 212 on the screen. Everybody follow the diagram to hook. Okay, we got to round 12 in our last episode, and we're going to crochet round 13. And for round 13, we need a new stitch. Decrease. Okay, 13 in the round. 2 single crochets and 1 decrease is a group. Repeat the hook 6 times. Hook a single crochet in the first stitch. Mark it well. Then hook a single crochet in the second stitch. Next, we need to hook a decrease. The decrease, we need to combine 2 stitches into 1 stitch. We start by picking the front loop of the third stitch. Let's take a look. Then pick up the front loop of the fourth stitch. And then what we do is we pull the yarn through both loops at the same time. Then through the last 2 loops. This is how to reduce the stitches by a single crochet. Okay, next, hook 2 separate single crochets. It's a combination. We need to repeat this combination 6 times. So here we go a second time. Hook 2 single crochets first. Then hook a decrease. Pick up the front loop of next stitch. Pick up the front loop of the stitch. Just pull the yarn over and crochet it. Reduce crochets for all single crochets in the future. Just subtract it all according to this method. What about his weaving symbols? Is this uppercase A or lowercase a? Next, continue to hook 2 separate single crochets. Then the second time, it's hooked. So here we go. A third time. We will follow this method. Hook this up for round 13 after the hook is done. And then hook the 14th round. Okay, so what's next? What about after you tick round 13? You see the diagram. Then hook it on the 14th round as well. Okay, what about the ice cream ball part? After the 14th round, what do we do next? And we're going to hook this cone together. So the cone part and the ice cream ball part. In the end, there were 24 stitches left. So what? Be able to join it stitch by stitch. So let's connect, hooking the lace on one side. Let's take a look. We can take this marker off. Thread the crochet at the position of the first stitch. Then put the part of this cone. Crochet in 1 stitch. What about the cone part? You can start hooking anywhere. Then pull the yarn over next. Just hook a single crochet. Mark this single crochet well. Okay, so let's skip one stitch. That is to say, the cone and the ice cream all need to skip one stitch. And then we thread the crochet through the third stitch. Then hook 6 double crochets. Hold the yarn first. Then go through the stitches. Through double layers. Because we are connected, so it has to be through in both parts. Okay, now we're going to hook the double crochet. Hook the yarn and pull it over. At this time, there are 3 loops, and then we crocheted around the yarn. Put the first 2 loops together. Then put the 2 loops together. This is a double crochet. Continue to hook double crochets. Wrap the yarn and thread the crochet through the stitches. Pull the yarn over. Then through 2 loops. And then we merged it. The second double crochet is hooked. And then the third double crochet. A total of 6 double crochets are hooked. Last stitch, 6 double crochet. Okay, after hooking these 6 double crochets, and here's a space. Hook a single crochet. Just connect it. So what's next? We can hook according to this rule. You need to skip one stitch every time. Thread the crochet through the front stitches. Hook 6 double crochets. We will follow this method and rules. Hook this whole round. When we got to the end, you need to put an appropriate amount of fiber fill in it. Fill it up. Everyone needs to pay attention to this. Okay, we've put the right amount of fiber fill in it. So what's next? We'll hook it up with the last tweed. Skip one stitch. Start hooking 6 double crochets. After hooking these 6 double crochets, we stretch the yarn directly. Just leave a longer yarn tail. And let's use this suture needle to treat the end of the thread. We skipped the first stitch. Thread the crochet through the first double crochet. And pick from the double crochet at the end. It's back loop. Thread it like this with the part of the first single crochet. Finally, put the end of this yarn through it out from other parts. The cone and the ice cream ball part, it's all done. So what's next? Let's hook this black strap. There is no specific crochet. You can measure the length while hooking. As long as you can get around, just surround it like this. Hook chain stitches. Make a loop first. Crochet in. Pull down appropriately. Next, we'll start to hook the chain stitches. Okay, let's measure it next. See if it reaches the length. That's about it. What about long words? We can remove parts of it. We remove 2 stitches. Okay, so what's next? We hooked it backwards. Hook single crochet. Let's round this hooked chain stitch over. Pick this little horizontal loop deep inside. Just use it as the part of the stitch. The undershirt of each braided pin, all across this yarn. Just pick it up and use it as the stitch. Hook back in round. Hook the single crochet. When we first hooked, the crochet is threaded at the penultimate stitch position. That's all. Just keep it upside down and hook it back with single crochet. Just hook until the end. Just hook all the single crochets. Pull the yarn over. Just cut it off. Our black strap is done. So what about after this tape is done? Are we going to use this suture needle again? Sew it up on this body. Just surround him like this. Just sew the ends together. Okay, how about this? We sewed him up. Okay, what about after we finish this tape? So what's next? The part of the minion's eyes. So we have big eyes and small eyes. The big eyes. The beginning is 8 single crochets in magic ring, and crochet 8 increases in the round 2. The small eyes. The beginning is 7 single crochets in magic ring, and crochet 7 increases in the round 2. We won't record in detail anymore, mainly for everyone to see. The gray yarn above. Let's take a look. Thread the crochet at the second round. Any location is fine. Pull the yarn over. The end of the yarn is pressed. Then go through and hook the yarn. Pull it over and pass this loop again. That's it. Just repeat the process. 1 stitch corresponds to 1 stitch. Just go. How about this? You can out-yarn this gray yarn for him. Okay, let's follow this method. What about the gray part? Just out-yarn it all. The small eyes are also out-yarned in this way. Okay, after you've out-yarned it, stretch the yarn. There is a longer yarn tail. And then we use this suture needle. Give him the end of the yarn. Thread a crochet in front of it. Skip the first stitch. Go through like this from the second stitch position. Then thread it out at the position of the last stitch. So it's connected. And what happens next? Where are we in the center? Put a little eye on him. Finally, seal it on his body. Along with the part of the tape, you have to fix it like this. And then, what can we do? And then you follow this circular out yarn. Just sew it around. Nailed in the middle. What about our two-eyed minions? Is it also according to this method? Get both eyes right. Then just stare at this body. So what about after we keep this eye on? Our Minions version. What about this ice cream cone? Even if it's done. And that concludes our video tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!